What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. This is Jonathan with Firebox Campaign, and I proudly present to you how to zero your pistol red dot. There's a couple things that you're going to want to consider when you're zeroing your pistol red dot. First of all, what is it going to be used for? Concealed carry, competition, home defense, all those things are going to play a factor in the distance you zero your dot. So for me today, this gun is going to be used for a multi-purpose thing. I'm going to try this in a competition, I think, coming up here pretty soon. So I'm going to be zeroing my red dot today at 25 yards. Your zero could vary 10 yards, 15, 12, 20, 25, whatever the purpose is driven for that pistol, I think it's going to dictate what you're going to zero it at. For most people, 10 yards is probably going to be just fine because you're putting the dot on it probably for concealed carry or home defense, so 10 yards would probably be a good zero for you. Now, when zeroing a red dot, you're going to need a few things. You're going to need something to mark your shots with. For me, I have this, I don't know what these call, the little tape squares to mark your shots. Probably a Sharpie, obviously your pistol, the red dot you're going to be zeroing with, and a tool that you can use so you can adjust your windage and elevation. Most of your optics are going to come with one in the box from the factory, but if you don't have one, find a tool that you can use to adjust your windage and elevation, because you can't zero the dot if you can't adjust those two things. So let's get started. I'm going to show you my process. There's a bunch of ways to do this out there. Let me know in the comments if there's a better way. Anyways, I usually put some sort of bright color on my target. I'm going to be using a highlighted green Sharpie, so when I'm at 25 yards, I can see my point of aim. So really all I'm going to do is draw a little 1-inch square, and then I'm going to color it in. This way I'll be able to see this without any problems at distance. So I like something with a semi-bright color, so when I put my dot on it, I can see it from 25 yards. And you're also going to want to put your dot at its lowest setting during the zeroing process. And guys, take your time with this. Don't rush it. I'm going to try and get this done in one magazine, and I'm going to show you a couple tricks on how to do this. All right, guys, pro tip for you. Go ahead and line up your iron sights before you start. You can see that my dot is off to the right. So I'm going to adjust my windage before I even start zeroing this thing, so I can get my dot, where to go? My dot lined up pretty much center on top of my irons. That will give me a good reference point, and hopefully at 10 yards it'll get me a good spot on paper where I only have to make minute adjustments. Okay, so you can see how I just made that adjustment, and my red dot is pretty much in line with my iron sights. So hopefully at 10 yards this will get me on target, and I only have to make minute adjustments from here. So pro tip, get your dot lined up with your iron sights before you start. That way when you do make your first shots, you're on paper, and hopefully you only have to make small adjustments from there. Fucking shotgun shells everywhere for whoever was out here before. Anyways, guys, so I'm at 10 yards. This is where I like to start after I have already lined up my dot, like I said before, with my irons. And when you zero your dot, guys, you're going to want to keep the dot on that center point of aim the entire time. Don't move the dot to where your shots were. It's going to screw everything up. And when you make your shots, nice, easy trigger pull to the rear. Do not rush it. Feel your wall. Feel when it's about to break. Make sure you got a really good grip and a good stance on your gun, because all of that is going to make for better accuracy. I'm going to put 3 rounds. Again, that point center aim. Okay, so not the best group in the world. 3 shots is okay, but I probably could have done 5 just to get a little bit better of a group. And again, what I forgot to do was zero my dot all the way down to its lowest brightness setting where I can see it, because my dot was basically occluding this whole thing. So shoot one more group just to verify. So after that 3 shot group, I actually felt pretty good. And again, I don't think I would have been anywhere near close if I didn't prematurely move the dot in line with my irons. So that got me pretty close at 10 yards. That's a pro tip for you guys. And I forgot to move the brightness down all the way till it's barely visible. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. We're going to put 3 more rounds on it, see if I can tighten that group up a little bit. Those were the first 3 shots of the day, so I'm a little shaky. But let's go ahead. Put 3 more. I'm gonna do one more because I felt I pulled that one down. Okay, so that's why I went ahead and did 3 or 4 more shots. My first group was here. My second group, 1, 2, 3, 4, are all there. So I am right of the center point of aim. So I'm gonna move my dot to the left, and I'm gonna go about 10 clicks. Again, my shots were a little bit to the right. So at 10 yards, I'm gonna go ahead and move my windage 10 clicks to the left. And on your optic, it will tell you right, left, and if it doesn't, read the manual. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 clicks to the left. I'm going to shoot 3 more, and I already marked those up, so I'll know if I have better hits this time. So again, good trigger pull, good grip. Take your time. So even at 10 clicks, I have moved over left just a little bit, but I'm gonna go another 10 so I can get more close. My elevation is good, my windage needs to come over just a touch more. I'm gonna mark these up and shoot 3 or 4 more and make adjustments as necessary. My first shot at 10 yards were all on the outside. I had a big group here. I adjusted 10 clicks. I adjusted 10 clicks again. So right now I'm at 20 clicks into the left, and I'm just now starting to get kind of bullseye targets here. It's a much tighter group. I'm taking my time. Nice, good trigger pull, good mechanics, good fundamentals of shooting. You don't want to rush this when you're zeroing a dot because it's going to throw everything off. So I'm going to go over maybe 5 more clicks, shoot 1 more group, and at 10 yards, this should be good to go. As you saw, those shots were pretty damn close, but I'm going to do 5 more clicks because when I move back to 20 or 25 yards, that little 0.5 millimeter distance is going to become a bigger gap. So I'm going to tighten this up as best as I can at 10 yards so I'm close enough at 25. And in case I haven't shown you yet, the windage and the elevation on this optic are pretty easy to get to. They're audible clicks. So it comes with this little tool here. And again, all your optics should come with a tool. So we're going to go left. 5 more clicks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hopefully this gets me bullseyes. Running a little low on the first mag. Usually like to get this done a little quicker. However, let's put a few more on target. Starting to wiggle. Okay, so at 10 yards, got a pretty nice tight group around my zero. We're going to call that good. You saw the zeroing process at 10 yards, pretty easy. I felt pretty confident in a standing position with a good mechanics of shooting. Now I'm back at 25 yards. This is going to be my final zero, and I am going to be using a bag. I do recommend further distances because your dot is going to be moving. Your stability is not going to be great. So get a bench, get something to rest your pistol on. You're going to have much better results with more stability. So we're going to go back and shoot 3 to 5 rounds at the target at 25 yards. It was much better with the bag. My dot didn't move. There was no shakes. So I highly recommend at a further distance to get some kind of support to put your pistol on. So a very interesting observation. My point of aim was here. My dot was covering this almost exclusively. At 25 yards, it's hard to see that. However, my shots are hitting a good 1, 2, 3 to 4 inches low at 20 yards. So with a 10-yard zero, your shots are going to be dropping down even a couple inches, going back another 15 yards. So at 25 yards, I'm roughly 4 to 5 inches down. So with this red dot, they say 1 MOA adjustments at 25 yards. So I'm going to go 1 MOA, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, roughly 5 clicks at that distance. We're going to shoot another group, see what we land. Okay, after my final adjustments at 25 yards, I have a relatively okay group. It's not the tightest. I could probably tighten this up a little bit more, But for the sake and the purpose of this video, I'm going to call this 0 at 25 yards. It's roughly a fistball size group. I could shoot maybe a couple more rounds to tighten this up. But guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something from this. I was interested and very surprised to see the difference in drop between the 10-yard and the 25-yard 0. The 10-yard 0 was up here, and when I shot my first shots, it was way down here in the bottom. Guys, thanks so much for watching this video. If it dragged on a little bit, I do apologize. Just remember, when you're zeroing your red dot, put the dot at its lowest brightness setting so you can get a good point of aim. Don't move your dot towards your shots. Make sure your point of aim is always in the same spot. And remember that pro tip I said at the beginning. Go ahead and line up your dot as best as you can with your factory iron sights. It's going to put you on paper 90% of the time. If you take your first shots and you're off paper, move closer to the target until you're on paper. Make those adjustments, guys. Stay safe, shoot straight. I hope you have a wonderful day. Happy Thanksgiving if I don't see everybody. And I look forward to the torture test of this Ghost from Siley Optics. That's going to be coming up in a couple weeks. So make sure you're subbed to the channel so you guys can see that. Again, peace out. Love you. Have a great day.